Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am going to recap Del Hollow April 1st, and it was not April Fool's Day. I wished it was, but April 1st Del Hollow recap video starts now. Well, let's get into it. So what we did was we went to a Del Hollow Lake in Tennessee. Great fishery. My boater was Jacob Woods. Awesome dude. I guess went to college there. Fished that lake for quite a few times. Fished it quite a few times and found some fish, but it was close to the dam, which is the lower end, which is clear water, a little bit chillier water than. Keep in mind now, this day we had a cold front come in a day or two prior to that, and winds were just howling. But the winds wasn't going to pick up until later on in the day, which was scary enough, right? Because we had to fight the winds. Which, okay, it's just winds. It's not like that big of a deal. But it turned into a really, really big deal. So first of all, we did go some spots. I did try down by the dam, our first spot that we went to. I did try a jerk bait. This jerk bait here, actually, one of these jerk baits. Actually, I did two jerk baits. I did this one and another jerk bait. Okay, and the rod that I used was the this is the Enigma HTP, which is the high performance titanium. Very good rod, very nice. Especially for those spinnerbait, topwaters, and jerkbaits. Let's go ahead and talk about the reel that I used. It's a Stunner reel from Fitzgerald Fishing. An absolutely tank. It's 7-to-1 gear ratio. It's P-line. This is 17 pound. I believe it is the C21, the C21 line. It's the C21 line that I use, and it's 15. I think this one is 15 pound, might be 12 pound. Anyway, I put the 15, anywhere from 17 or 12 to 17 pound test, unless I'm using my spin cast 8 to 10. So. And then the first jerkbait I used was the deep diving jerkbait, is the Mega Bass 110 plus 1, and it goes down. Obviously, you know, it's a plus 1, so it's a deep diving jerkbait. That jerkbait was, I can't remember what the color was on it, but I tried that one for a little bit, no joy. And then I also went to this one here, and this is called 13 Fishing Whippersnapper. It's kind of like your Northern Lights version for your stunner, right? We was in clear water, so that's why I went to translucent. So again, that was paired up. Fished it for a while, deep diving crank or deep diving jerk bait. At 5 and 9 feet, they were sitting approximately 10 feet, so they were suspended a lot closer to the surface. That's why I ran what I did. This one here is, again, Enigma Ipon series with the Fitzgerald Fishing FX8 reel, and this is the 7-to-1 gear ratio. This one here is 15 pound test. It had I put the Trickster as well as the twin tail little trailer that I put on there. This is a Trickster. This one was actually a ½ ounce. I let it go down there. It was super windy, or it was a windy point. It wasn't super windy yet, and that's why I ran the Trickster with this color. Decently colored. It casts really well. Again, this is a 6/8 medium action rod. Very nice. So this one I actually came prepared more and more. This guy here, this here is my cranking rod. This is for crankbaits and chatterbaits. This is the Enigma Atomic 29. This one put in some work on this one from between my crankbaits and my chatterbait that I used. I did throw a chatterbait. It was a stealth blade chatterbait. It was a 1/2 ounce with a straight tail. I think it was like a, not quite a spunk shad, but similar to that. I paired with this Atomic 29. I pair it up with the Fitzgerald Fishing VLD10. And this is like 6:5 to 1 gear ratio with, I think I'm running on this one 15-pound test. No, this is 12-pound test. Sorry, this is 12-pound test P-line. And I think it's the Fluoroclear copolymer P-line that I use on that one. And this one put in a lot of work. I threw it a lot. So, and then of course I used this was the new A-rig setup that I had. This is the Enigma Ipon. This is my heavy duty, heavy fast action. And this is a 3/8 to 1 1/4 ounce. And this is for your Carolina rigs and stuff. I threw my A-rig on this one. As you can tell here, I had several different colors to see which one they would hit, and then I had to have 2 teasers. This is paired up with my brand new SLX. Got a little rough scuff in there, but my new SLX 6:3 to 1 gear ratio, 150 Shimano. My very first one that I've used so far. I like it. I think I'm gonna have to change it up, but this one here is actually 20-pound test P-line. And that put in some work as well. So 7.3 heavy fast action. And then we got 2 more that I used. I took 6 total, 1 spinning, because I can do drop shots and everything. This is an Enigma Phenom Titanium Series. This is my 611 my 611 medium fast action rod with my Fitzgerald Fishing Stunner S4000 reel. I got the P-line braid to a P-line 10-pound fluorocarbon leader. I threw this guy out a lot. This is like the hover rig version. This is one that I made up out of, I had some O'Shaughnessy hooks and 90 degree. I put a bait keeper on there, hand tied bait keeper, and then put that weight in there. I did try this around quite often in the video because I was trying to catch something between the first time we were there, or the first spot we were at, which was what my boater was doing, was scoping and finding these out, catching them on this style of fishing. And then last but not least, my favorite, and that's far the one that put in the major work in this video. This is a 7 foot 5 inch medium heavy cranking and chatterbait rod. It's the Enigma Atomic 29 cranking series. Fantastic rod. Paired that up with the VLD 10 Fitzgerald Fishing. This is a 6:5 to 1 gear ratio, and with the one that I actually caught my fish on. 12-pound test, P-line, tactical. And the one time I caught my fish was the was this lure right here, which is the Money Badger 6.25, and that has the black and shad. I'm telling you, I threw this over and over and over. I mean, it's got scuff marks in it. It's got hook rash from me throwing it around and around and around. This 6.25, I didn't know if I could throw it on this. Shockingly enough, it bombs with this thing. This thing will bomb it out there. Anyway, it's the Brooklyn Money Badger silverback, or the, sorry, blackback silver. And like I said, this is a 12-pound test. P-line, tactical. Well, that is all the gear that I used. I do have other gear, but I didn't use it as much. I mean, as you've seen in the video, kind of stuck with my guns and what we were doing. As the day goes throughout, about 11 o'clock, my boater, now we have to be in, mind you, at 2:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And my boater says, I think I'm going to have to run. I think we're going to have to go because it's starting to get bad. Now, mind you, I said earlier in that day that it would be approximately, I don't know, 1 o'clock or so that we would get some winds. Actually, I said it was like 11:30 to 12, and I said it's going to really pick up about 1. Well, we decided to go ahead and cut out and head toward the boat ramp. And so we can be close enough, maybe check in early if we have to. Because I caught a fish and my boater caught a fish, and I'll put a picture up somewhere right over here too. Anyway, I'll put a picture up that my boater's fish as well as my fish that I caught. We speared a couple waves. We had to go back. There was probably, I don't know, 6 inches of water in the cockpit. And we moved over into the cove and kind of let it pump out, which is common, especially when you're getting those, 5 to 6 footers. I mean, the wind was howling. It was 22 mile an hour, gust of 55 mile an hour. It was way too bad. We shouldn't even had this tournament that day. But anyway, after we swamped, we went over and was like, okay, just a little bit of water, not a big deal. As we're cruising around, and we hit another wave, and we speared 2 more waves, and the second wave that we speared actually come over the bow. Now we had about 10 inches of water in the cockpit. We go off to the other side or into another cove, and there's a boater in there. They swamped their boat, and there was another boat out in the middle of the water, and they got swamped. They bogged down so bad that the engine shut down, and they're out there, and they're about to capsize. So as these winds coming around, I'll play the video clip of the winds after the fact right now. So the winds after that was just horrendous. After we did that, my boater decided, we're done. We're going back to the boat ramp. We're actually far from the check-in point, a start point. We went to a different place to get in. And I said, all right. And he goes, I'm just going to turn back the fish. I said, all right, well, at least can we get pictures? Like I said, I'll put some pictures up here of the fish we caught. And from that point forward, we started our journey to get to the boat ramp. It's 11:30 at this point. Mind you, the temperature of the water is 55 degrees. The wind is blowing, gusting up to 55 miles an hour, and it's gusting 20 to 25 miles an hour. So we go out of the cove, we get going, we come up and hit a couple of them. He slows down, gets it back in rhythm. We speared a wave. Okay, not a big deal. And then we went underwater. And I'm telling you this, this is the first time I felt like I was in danger. I didn't know what to do. I just held on, and I was wet from head to toe. There was approximately this deep of water, so 2 feet. The whole cockpit was full of water. The engine started to bog down. We almost lost the engine. We scrambled to clear everything out. He just scrambled to get back in there. And we said we were done. That's it, no more. My PFD went off. I'll show another picture of that here. Not fun, guys. Not fun. I got soaked so bad that my PFD is an automatic one, either a manual or automatic, and it went off on its own. Scared the bejesus out of me. And when my boater says that it was pretty close to death that he's ever been in a boat, and he's been in a boat all his entire life with his dad and grandpa, and been in some waves, and I've been in Lake Erie and never felt like, I think what really done it was the huge, well, even last year during the Alabama tournament, during the wild card, I was getting pounded with water and still was fine, but this was different. This was sketchy. But we made it back safely, and, hopefully MLF will pay attention to the weather. They cancel our Buckeye Division tournaments all the time if it's flooded out, or if it's Lake Erie, they keep us in the bay. There's several things that they could have done. They didn't need to get this tournament in. It was scary. So, but that's all I have for the video. I mean, like I said, it was one for the history books. I will never forget. So, thank you for swinging by. Thank you for clicking on this video. As always, God bless Thailand. We are out of here.